than a snake. As I said before, we grew up in the country around nature. So when we saw animals, they were all the same. They're in a natural environment, and the animal's just there doing what it does. We see birds, and they're birds. We see snakes, they're just snakes. They're not especially dangerous. We see deer, they're just deer. You react to it the way that it is.
Mm,
So when we are looking at the scenario with women, it's the same thing. When you see the woman, you have to say, okay, what is actually there, and how do I change myself and stop being programmed to women based on what happened to me before. So now, women have this program where they judge men saying, this man is select, this man over here is non-select. And so the select man, I'm going to do anything I have to get his attention and to get in bed with him and to get him to wrap him around my finger and to influence him so that he does what I want him to do. Boom. And so you set yourself up for failure because the men that you want the most select men, you program them to misuse you, to mistreat you.
mm,
Because you're willing to do all of this stuff. You're willing to give up the poutine
mm,
and you're willing to let them get away with stuff. You're willing to let them, abuse you and mistreat you and talk bad to you and belittle you because you have categorized them as select.
oh wow. Okay.
So you're guaranteed to fail. But that's what we do. So what happens in that scenario? 33% of the men are select men. But guess what? As soon as you do that, that means 66% of the men are non-select.
Yeah.
So now you've created this whole big majority of men out here, and they have now become your adversaries.
Mm,
And what's going to happen with that? You think I'm just going to avoid all these scrubs.
yeah.
Wrong, because those scrubs are going to have a big impact and a big influence on the select men.
Mm,
We don't live in a world where all the select men live in Georgia and all the non-select men live in North Carolina. No, they're all mixed up and they're all influencing each other. So when the majority of the men have a negative attitude and posture toward women, so are the select men.
mm,
So you basically poison two-thirds of the male pool against you. They're not going to build you up. They're not going to protect you. They're not going to care about you because you
okay.
don't care about them.
Okay.
And they are going to be the ones who are going to poison the select men.
Mm.
Buddy, you don't care about.
Yeah, that's deep because especially in the black community, there even on this YouTube space, you got black women say, "Well, the black men aren't protecting us. They're not doing this and that," and they keep saying why, but you poison 2/3 of the community of the men that you want to protect, and then they're influencing members of that select group. I mean, probably not all, but a critical mass of them. So, shoot, that number from what is it, 67% might go up to 80 or 90%.
I'm just saying, I've been on both sides of that. When I was considered a select man, I didn't have to work hard in a relationship.
Mm,
They believed what I told them, even though they might have doubted it in their heart. Because they wanted me to keep taking them out, they believed it.
mm,
They did not confront me about it. If I was a select man and I said, I don't want to go to church with you because I don't believe that, they still dated me. They still went to bed with me. With a non-select man, they are attempting to say, look, you need to do based on what I want you to do, or I'm not going to cooperate in this relationship.
mm.
And
You know
so,
what, Master Yao, I
to
had
get away
actually
with all this stuff, if I'm getting away with whatever I want to get away with, where is my motivation to change to be a better man?
well, that's what I was saying. I did that in a video. I said, this is how you know the women are they're going to throw it at you. They're going to try to seduce you. But then if you do
All
it,
I gotta do is pull up in a Mercedes.
boy, because he can say whatever, and I've known men to do that. I hate to say it,
Right.
I've done that. I'd be like, say whatever. I was like, damn, they went for that. Sometimes I would do stuff. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. Sometimes I would do stuff just to see if I got away with it. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. They're like, okay, okay. I say, no, I don't worship God the same way you do. Okay, like,
If you come up with the select, non-select BS, the selectmen are gonna say, because I know, if you don't come up with everything that I want, I'm just gonna pass over you and go to the next woman who will.
exactly.
Because I'm select.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get that environment embedded in society, men don't feel accountable. They just do what the hell they want to do because they know they can get away with it.
Yeah,
Why? Because they're rare. They have value because they're scarce, because there's not a lot of them.
mm,
It's like, why is a diamond worth something? Because it's not common.
okay.
Why is gold worth so much? Because it's hard to get.
Mm,
That's a mistake. When you make one group of men artificially, the key word is artificially, higher in value, when they haven't really done anything. They haven't helped you raise your kids. They haven't elevated you. They haven't supported you. They haven't protected you, but you're still putting them on a pedestal. What do you think the outcome of that is going to be?
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You're going to act a fool. And that's what they're doing.
Well,
These guys out here that get what they want so easy, they're not going to try to improve nothing. They're not going to try to better themselves. They're not going to even be worried about what does the woman need? What do I need to do to heal the woman? What do I need? They're not even thinking about that. They're thinking about, I wish she would complain about something. I'll just go someplace else.
no, that's usually the case. And I mean, my thing is, well, me, my thing is always making improving the guys and really getting them to that, but then that can still be a problem for the guys because, they're not required to be moral or good, and that's a significant part of the select crew. I mean, that's just a reality. It's a lot of bad boys in there. A lot of bad boys. But, at the same time, when I see women complain, because I wrote an article for this website, and oh man, sisters got hot. I said black women create the men that they later complain about, because you can see it even with the kids. You're going to get like I know some young ladies. They have sons, and already making them cute, dressing them up, doing their hair and stuff. I said, yeah, you raising a pimp. And they got mad at me, but they actually creating the next generation.
It's so true. But, how do you get them to see the big long-term picture? That's the challenge. It's like, because they want the guy so bad, and they got this fairy tale of thinking, just like we talked about earlier. A lot of men think that they don't have to do the work to get a good woman, that she's just going to show up ready-made. No, you got to do the work. And it's the same with women.
Yeah.
They think, I'm just going to look cute, and I'm going to get me the guy that I'm attracted to, and that's going to be the end of that. It never works that way.
No.
It's the problem with African Americans a lot, and this problem is their concept of form over function.
Yeah.
In other words, they're constantly looking at the form, the outside way that things look, the facade, the appearance, and they're not looking at the function. You gotta have both.
Yeah.
When I'm looking at a woman, I'm looking at two sides. I'm looking at the form, how does she look, what does she say, how does she present, what kind of class, what kind of elegance, what kind of, what kind of charisma does she have?
Okay.
But then the other side of that is, what is her function? Can she cook? Can she raise kids? Does she know what to do with a man? If you know how to handle money, that's function. And so, if the woman is basically focused on form, and that's where we got today. I mean, you look at any magazine, and you look through the ads, and it tells you everything. All the ads, if you look at the stores, all the stores are geared to appealing to form only. When you go into these stores and buy, whether it's toys for kids, dresses for women, perfume, anything, accessories, hair salons, whatever, it's all about form, no function. When you try to get women to invest money, they will invest 95% of their money into form.
Yeah.
Beauty salons are never going to go out of business.
No.
Hair supply never going to go out of business. Cosmetics never going to go out of business.
Yeah.
But banking, business, self-help classes, books, everything that deals with improving your function, women are not investing in that. They're not trying to increase their function. So what's going to happen in the relationship? They're going to have the appeal. They're going to have the curb appeal. And they're going to get in the door and fail because they don't.
Get your protein from a greener source. Wonderful pistachios.
They don't got the function.
Well, you know what, Master? Yeah, it's interesting you said that because I was talking with a friend about that. He said, it's kind of funny. Like a lot of very attractive women are single. Like you be thinking, oh, they have these guys lined up, but then once you get past the facade, they're not assets. They can't take care of a lot of functions. They cute, and you just like, this ain't working. This is not working.
Are you single?
You talked about it earlier when you talked about the fact that it's an illusion.
Yeah.
And we have this illusion going on. I mean, men have it. It's the thing with the poisonous snake. You have this illusion that you're going to be able to get the snake, to do what a rabbit does.
Yeah.
And a snake is not a rabbit. And you have this illusion that you're going to be able to get the snake to do it as you want it to, but that's never going to happen. Snake is going to be a snake, and that's what it's supposed to be. If you get a woman and you're saying, and you're having the same type of an illusion, you have this illusion that she's going to do the things that I want her to do because I want her to do them, ain't going to happen.
Okay.
If she doesn't have the function, she doesn't have the function.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how much form she's got. That's when it's like people go to church on Sunday. Monday morning, they're worshiping Dominion.
We ain't ready for Dominion. Hey. I don't want to go there tonight, man. That's another show, man. That's an on-demand show. I got to put that on one of my pay channels or something.
Like you sit up there and you're saying, my form is going to church. That's the form. I'm pretending as if I'm this holy, pure, whatever. And Monday morning, you're back to no form. You're back to doing all the stuff that you don't like to do. You don't want to get up to go to work because you hate your job, and you should. And you don't want to take care of your kids. And you hate daycare. It's too expensive. Your credit card's maxed out. Your car's not working right. That's the function. And it's like, okay, so, the proper way in a utopia would be you go to church and you complain to the reverend about the lack of function in the rest of the week. And the reverend says, okay, let's deal with daycare. Let's deal with your cars, fixing those cars. Let's deal with this credit card debt. Let's deal with getting you more money.
Okay.
But that's not what they say. They basically don't want to talk about anything except form, stuff that's meaningless.
Yeah.
And Monday morning, you're back to the same grind that's function based. And if you don't have the function, your life, the quality of your life suffers.
Oh, wow. That's some powerful stuff. But Master Yao, because we got a few more minutes left, give us your website.
It's the organization is called Grand Time